Hello, chat. It's me with half of the team yet again for another rip-roaring adventure down data science lane. It's technically not week 5, but this is technically the 5th episode. But we are many weeks in. We're like 2 months in. We're gonna start with what people were working on this past week, and the first thing we're leading off with is issues relocating people to Indy. As y'all know, I am trying to relocate the team to Indianapolis. They've been working from home, and now it is time to return to work. Turns out that there are some issues that I've received. I received this letter from the owners of the Airbnb that we're at, and I'm not exactly too sure on all these complaints here. But Sam, do you have any? Do you want to enlighten me about some of these complaints?
I mean, nobody has complained to me personally. I think everything's going quite smoothly. We had a lot of equipment to move in. Or I personally had a lot of equipment to move in, for some of my other personal projects and hobbies. So maybe people were a little bit annoyed with the, moving trucks and various equipment we were unloading. But this is the first I'm seeing of any complaints. I thought it was going quite pleasantly.
These complaints, they left me a bunch of weird texts, they left me messages, and these are just like some of the things I've been saying. Like, there's constant humming coming from the property. And at first I thought it was just the air conditioning unit, but they say it sounds like the fans are running constantly, and in addition to this, the neighbors are experiencing random power outages and rolling blackouts since y'all have moved in.
We need a lot of compute power. And maybe or maybe not, we kind of tapped into some extra power from the grid. And maybe or maybe not, we had to set up a rig of fans to keep our GPUs cool. You know what? That just comes with the territory.
That's territory?
That's part of the job here.
Who are you? What are you competing against that's taking up more energy than, why do you need that much energy?
That's a better question for Jordan. Maybe you can get around to asking him sometime.
Okay, well, how about this complaint, I'm pretty sure I know what the hell this is. Deliveries of hay and alfalfa arrive daily, and there is a barnyard-like smell emanating from the property. The neighbors think they hear what sounds like goats. A reminder that any pets and animals are strictly prohibited.
I can see how these two things could be confused together, but there's a perfectly rational explanation for both of them.
What is the rational explanation?
For the hay and alfalfa, I moved to Indianapolis. I had to leave my 2 young children behind. I'm missing them. I want to do a little project for when they come to visit for the holidays. So I am putting together a corn maze, but out of hay. And I'm going to set up like a tractor ride with hay, just some festive holiday things. I personally find the sound of goats soothing. It gives me a very pastoral feel. And so, for calming and relaxation, I play the sound of goats to put my mind at ease while I'm working throughout the day. These two things are unrelated. As to the smell, that's something we should maybe ask the landlord about. Do they have a septic system? I don't know. But there is no relationship between that noise and the hay whatsoever. We do not have pets living at the Big Data Bowl house.
We'll get to the reason why I think there might be a goat there. But first, posters are appearing all around the neighborhood. Neighbor mailed one to landlord with the following comment: "You need to evict the new tenants immediately. They are putting up these commie, satanic posters, and we don't take kindly to commies or satanic cults here in Indiana. And the picture was this, which was a Haidavai poster.
I don't see it personally. And this is America. Can I not advertise? Am I not allowed to turn $1 or $2?
Is this? But this
So,
is.
This is a free country. I can put my posters where I want. And come on. All this says to me is that this drink makes me masculine and strong like a goat and gives me the testosterone of a goat. And red is the color of virility. I'm not getting the communist or satanic cult vibe at all.
The bottom of this label says praising, comma, your energy and masculinity executed in English.
Yeah, the guy's got energy and masculinity, and we're bringing Haidavai to the English markets. I don't see what's wrong with that.
Like, the number one ingredient in Haidavai is fermented goat's milk, right?
Yeah.
And you're saying that there isn't a goat on premise, right?
For legal reasons, I refuse to answer that question. You cannot make me answer that question.
Okay, well, what about Tim not being...
This is starting to feel like a workplace violation. These type of questions are personal, and I refuse to answer.
But what about Tim being detained? Tim, tell them what happened.
I might have gone over the limit for like the liquids you can bring on your handbag, because I had like 3 pellets or like 3 like 6-packs of Hideaway in there. And I might have like triggered some kind of alarm, because like my whole suitcase was full with Hideaway, and there might be like some... They say there's like a forbidden liquid in Hideaway, and like that you can't bring on an airplane. I think it's just like the secret ingredient that they want to find out, and they want like Sam's secret behind all those things.
Okay, so many questions, but all right, if you can't bring a Haidavai in because the government didn't let you, and you're not in Indianapolis right now, right?
No, I think I'm on some kind of like no-fly list, so you might need to do some phone calls to get me over there.
Haidavai is not allowed in the country, and yet there's Haidavai posters going up around the neighborhood, and there's a goat in the house.
I heard they want to add like another like checkbox to the ESTA form that you like have to say if you drank Hideaway in the last 6 months. So I might get stuck like a few days longer here.
This is all Russian interference. I can explain everything. Tim, yes. Was he trying to bring Haidavai in the country? Absolutely. Is that what we're going to sell to the fine people of Indianapolis? Absolutely. Am I making my own Haidavai? No comment.
How did Tim get out of jail?
I have to say Sam has some very powerful friends, and they had the right arguments and the right amount of deep pockets.
Once again, no comment. These are workplace violations. I'm gonna have to speak to HR before I answer any of these questions.
Okay.
But I think like if you're like around the Airbnb in the next few days, I think there's like some new deliveries coming in from like a milk making machine or something like that.
Okay, well, 2 things are for sure. 1, we need to get Tim over here because it's very expensive to pay EU taxes for workers remote. And 2, I'm not going to pay for another place if you guys get kicked out of the current Airbnb. So please do not get kicked out of the current Airbnb. And yes, let's work on Tim trying to get to Indianapolis. Okay. Next. What did everyone work on? Oh, continuing with the theme of what we've been working on, I'll pass it over to Sam here for model updates.
Yeah. So, I've been spending quite a bit of time observing the nature of the peregrine falcon. I've got a link here to a YouTube video. I've probably been spending 6 hours a day watching this lovely nesting peregrine falcon couple from Manchester, New Hampshire. I just sit there and watch this until they return, with the hopes of glimpsing the flight of the fastest animal on land. Nick, if you see time charged and wonder why what I'm about to show you looks like relatively little work, it's because I've been researching speed and the speed of a peregrine falcon. And yes, this is part of the process. So one of the things that we've been attempting to do, or one of the elements for our project, is we want to use the tracking data to define a realistic player-specific speed and acceleration curve. And that sounds like a relatively simple process. But in reality, with the player tracking data, it can be quite complex. Because ideally, what I have in my mind is something akin to a 40-yard dash, where we have a player starting at 0 acceleration, hitting their terminal speed, and seeing how long they can sustain that terminal speed. And of course, in a real-life game, the ability to do that is going to be affected by weather, how far you are into the game, like how much energy you've exerted so far, injuries, etc. So there'd be a lot of variance, but for our purposes, we're just looking to create kind of a basic estimation for each player. All I really want to know is roughly the speed and acceleration differences between, say, Tyreek Hill and Logan Wilson. This is what the speed data looks like. The speed is in yards per second for all of the plays in our tracking data. It's a mess. You can't simply average over this data over time and extract some type of acceleration speed curve. But we can see some of the data kind of looks like the potential curve we're looking to estimate or think about or capture for each player. But it occurs at various times within the plays because all the plays don't start at the same time. The players are taking different actions. It's kind of actually much more complicated than, like I said, simply averaging over the time. So on the next slide, I created some logic. I won't go into it too much. But essentially, for every player ID, it captures one of those speed curves that goes from something like 0. So there's some logic to filter out plays that start at like 4 yards per second, start kind of mid-play. And it goes up to their maximum speed. So here we have that player. We found one speed curve that goes up to their max speed in the data set that starts somewhere near 0. But of course, then we have deceleration. We don't really care about their deceleration afterwards. The play may have ended and they slowed down or something. So then we trim that data, and we're starting to better approximate this curve for a single player. But not all of these speed curves are going to be as simple. So if we go on the next slide, we can see 5 different player IDs and their different speed curves as kind of best representation with the filtering logic that I have from the tracking data. We see one player has some data at the beginning that they're not really moving, and then they start to accelerate and hit that max speed. We've got a couple other plays where they didn't have any data that really extended down to kind of a standstill. So the best we're seeing is capturing them mid-play. Maybe it's because it's a passing play and we're capturing from the pass outcome onwards. So that's another potential issue. So we need to do something about both of that. And some of these don't start at the 0-second mark. So if we go to the next slide, we kind of get to where we're at in this process with the speed and acceleration curve estimates, which is I've set all of these to kind of start at 0.1 seconds. But still, there's some work to do on those players that our speed and acceleration curve kind of starts at 2 yards per second or 3 yards per second. Some type of estimation needs to be done to kind of get their full curve from 0 to max potential speed. Also, I'm picking out one example from the data set that gets closest to their max speed, but it probably should be averaged over multiple. And really, I probably should be taking a more simplified approach here, which is figuring out some distribution and just gathering players 40 times from the combine and maybe looking at acceleration and kind of simply imputing or computing something quickly. Because ultimately, this is the type of rabbit hole that you can find yourself going down, that these type of projects you don't need to be perfect with. Like if I wanted to be perfect with this and I was on a team, probably have guys running repeated dashes, and seeing how their acceleration and speed declines over time, seeing, the level of variance that they have within their speed and acceleration. Like, it's not going to be perfect every time. But for this type of work, probably maybe just fitting with 40 times and some type of distribution that replicates this curve is probably a better approach going forward. So, I've been thinking about speed. I've had a need for speed. I've been loving my Peregrine Falcon webcam. I recommend that you all spend hours a day watching the Peregrine Falcon. They're truly a majestic creature. And that's what I have this week.
That's what did they just live here?
Yeah. Peregrine falcons are primarily found in urban areas. They prefer hunting and living at the top of skyscrapers because it allows them to dive and reach that terminal speed of 320 miles per hour.
Okay.
Beautiful birds. Absolutely beautiful.
Wow. This is great though. It's like the estimation of speed in a limited amount of data is going to be difficult to find and really say whether or not a player is actually reaching what we believe is their max speed. So external data is going to probably go a lot further than, say, the 8 weeks of data that we have here. Thank you for the update on the model. I know it's been a couple weeks now, so the fact that we're getting into the nitty-gritty of player specifications, moving away from their IDs and replacing the player with their attributes as athletes, I think that's a smart choice. So very good, excellent work. Now we have blockers. Now these blockers, I know some of you, because I've seen it in the React channel. I've seen some people post this, and I was getting texts and emails about this all week or all day. And it's because, Nick Wan jokingly saying I'm an NFL team owner. I'm an NFL team owner now. Ha ha ha. Well, this came out today on Wired. Inside the dark realms of the NFL and an enigmatic owner, emails reveal the unseen machination of Nick Wan, casting shadows on NFL team operations. Financial crisis, mistreatment of staff, and poor working conditions shine a light on Nick Wan, the newest NFL team owner, who has perpetuated a pattern of behavior that has led to many on his team to question his leadership capabilities. Also, where is this picture from? Once reverend institution in the big money world of data science, Twitch streaming reality shows have has found itself at the epicenter of controversy and exhaustive investigation revealing the enigmatic and often questionable actions of its owner, Nick Wan. Nick Wan has shrouded themselves in a cloak of mystery. An in-depth investigation by Wired has peeled back the layers, exposing a tangled web of decisions that have left chat and team members alike questioning the true motives behind the team's management. I'm team's management. Heart of the controversy lies a series of financial manipulations that have raised eyebrows among sports data analysts and industry insiders. Documents and emails obtained by Wired staff sent via anonymous tipster reveal a pattern of questionable transactions, including suspicious transfers of funds to Moldova, opaque accounting practices which include exactly $0 spent, and allegations of embezzlement. These revelations raise concerns about the financial stability of Marfa and its ability to compete on a level playing field. I don't even know why Marfa's in this. The investigation deepens, a darker side of Wan's management style comes to light. Based on emails obtained by Wired, current team members, that's y'all, discuss alleged mistreatment, unfair contract negotiations, and pervasive culture of fear within the team. The expose explores instances of team members being sidelined for expressing dissent, raising questions about ethical treatment of coders under Wan's regime. In one particular shocking anecdote, emails allege Wan may be investing team money into cryptocurrency called Sprite Coin. As of the publishing of this article, there is no evidence of Sprite Coin existing as a real cryptocurrency whatsoever. In the wake of these revelations, Marfa faces a crisis of credibility. Fans, sponsors, and league officials are demanding answers, and the fallout could extend far beyond the data analytics arena as the expose sends shockwaves through the data analytics reality show Twitch world. Nick Wan is left to defend their actions and salvage what remains of the team's once stellar reputation. As the scandal unfolds, the story of Marfa and its mysterious owner serves as a cautionary tale about unchecked power wielded by individuals in the world of reality show Twitch. The question now is whether the league and its governing bodies will take decisive action to rectify the wrongs exposed by this investigation or if Nick Wan continues to cast a shadow over the once proud legacy of Big Data Bowl. So there's an article about us, y'all. And really it's about me. NFL team, I know I've been trying to get into NFL team owners meetings as a meme. The fact that I have been outed as a team owner, and now there are leaks within the team of 5 people to Wired saying that I'm some horrible owner. And then current team members discuss alleged mistreatment, unfair contract negotiations, and pervasive culture of fear within the team. What is that? What even is that? And then where did they get this picture? This is like a picture of me in grad school, like holding a sandwich. I thought the article was the worst of it, but I got a letter as well, which is from Commissioner Goodell, dated today. Let me read that. If you can't read it, I will read it for you. It says, "We hope this letter finds you well. As fellow team owners and representatives of the National Football League, we are writing you with a great matter of concern that has garnered attention of the league's leadership. It has come to our attention that recent events surrounding the management and operation of team name have raised serious questions about the ability of the current ownership to uphold values and standards set forth by the NFL. We believe that The credibility and reputation of the league are at stake, and we must address these issues promptly and decisively to protect the integrity of our sport. While we acknowledge your contributions to the league and your commitment to your team, it is with a heavy heart that we express our shared belief that a change in ownership is necessary. They sent me this letter. They sent me this letter to tell me to sell the team. What do you guys have to say?
I talked to someone at the NFLPA like earlier today, and they advised me to not comment on it because that would make me very suspicious. So I don't want to comment about it.
Sam?
I mean, two things come to mind for me. Number one is this is exactly why I don't read articles of any kind, be it newspaper, magazines, the tabloids. Only bad can come from reading. Number two, my grandpappy always said that the greatest wisdom was in the oldest book ever written, and that was the Bible. And who was Jesus' best friend in the Bible? Judas. And what did Judas do? He betrayed him. So Nick, I ask you, who did you recently go on a nice vacation with on the team?
I went to Puerto Rico and Jordan was there.
I rest my case.
You think Jordan is the leak? Didn't Tim just say he talked to the NFLPA?
I
No
call
comment.
my own shots. The NFLPA is not telling me how to live my life. Did I make any definitive claims? No. I just made a correlation between Judas and Jordan. Double down and keep engaging in the behavior that they said you did, and don't apologize for it.
I was saying kind of like now that all these points are brought up, maybe we could talk about it. Like we could change something.
Yeah.
Maybe we could do a different time system or something like that.
A different
It
what?
would be nice to get paid.
Different clock-in system, getting paid. Okay, what else? What else do you think we should do about this?
We haven't gotten SAS. We haven't gotten an intern. I mean, to be fair, I'm starting to kind of agree with this article. I think you need to tweet storm through this. 2 a.m. tweet storms.
Ghetto Bob is asking, would Sam do a better job as owner?
I do have experience running successful businesses, so, just saying.
Tim, can you believe that?
I trust Sam like with he trusts me a lot with Hideaway, so I trust him a lot. So that's all I can say right now.
No, wait. No one's supposed to agree with Sam right now. I'm the team owner. I put this team together.
We are seeing this letter. Right? You are seeing this letter, right? Are you the team owner? That's what I'm asking.
What is this?
Go back to the Bible. Moses can only take his people to the promised land. He can't lead him into the promised land. Is that what you're saying, Tim?
Exactly.
I was able to read some of these emails that they referenced. Here are some of the things that y'all said. His big jug of water is obnoxious. The Vesta board is so fucking stupid. He has bad shoes.
Yeah, I think the shoes are like distracting everyone else from the team, like from the purpose of the team, from like all the attention should be on the team, but your shoes are like too eccentric to like it takes away the spotlight from the team.
The real reason he's not sponsored by HP anymore is because he sucks, haha.
No comment.
So don't bring me into this. I'm just an inanimate object. Okay. Something has to change. Something has to change. And I will bet on everything I got that it's not going to be me that's changing, because I'm not, guys, surprise, ha ha ha, I'm not a real NFL owner. It's like, haha, I'm an NFL team owner. I'm an NFL Big Data Bowl team owner. Haha. So, first off, nothing's going to change because nothing can change because I'm the NFL Big Data Bowl team owner. And I don't own the 33rd NFL team, apparently based in Marfa. I don't know even where that came from.
We're not the 33rd NFL team. We're the first NFL Big Data Bowl team under the NFL umbrella, right? I mean, Tim, isn't that right?
That's what I got told. So, like, I signed all these contracts for what?
You cannot register as a player for the NFL with the NFLPA. Because we're not an NFL team.
But we're athletes, right?
Okay, 3. There's not going to be a change because I own this. I own this team, and we're just going to. Okay, all right. This is all right. Let's just move on. Are there any announcements we're gonna make? Oh, there were no announcements in the slide deck. Ooh, wow, weird. I think that's about it. Unless any Yes, Sam.
Tim, I got a sidebar with Tim here. Tim, is it time? We tell him.
I think it's time. We have to take the next step.
I'll take this one. All right. So I've got a brief statement. I didn't want to put this in announcements because I think we needed to handle this in a live setting. My lawyer, our lawyer, has instructed me to let you know that in the wake of recent events and with the continued poor labor conditions under which this team has been operated,
That's not real.
an investigation is being opened, and until further notice, the team will be on strike, and we will send a list of demands
What?
in the coming days. These demands must be met for the strike to be lifted, and until such time, no further comment can be given. So I am delivering that message on the behalf of myself, Tim, Jordan, and Ghetto Bob.
How does a strike even work? What does that even mean? How are you striking?
We will no longer continue to make progress on the project until demands are met. Those demands will be posted publicly within the next 48 hours so that external pressure can continue to be placed upon the ownership of said Big Data Bowl team.
What the hell? That doesn't make any sense. There's a sponsorship with this team. There's you guys are in the place that I have put you in. You guys have relocated. People are working towards this bigger goal, and you guys are just gonna stop. There's only 4 weeks left in this thing. How is this even possible? How is this even a consideration?
I am allowed to say that we will continue to live at the Indianapolis location.
How are you doing that?
But that no more work will be done on the project until demands are met. And like I said, I cannot disclose those demands at this current time per my lawyer's recommendation.
Also, we're gonna invoice everything.
What?
Are doing because you're not paying anyway, but the money is going away, so we need to get our money back somehow.
Yeah, legally speaking, if you do not pay in the appropriate time frame, you will be back billed for any expenses occurred during the strike once work resumes. That's par for the course with these things.
With these things, yes. How typical that the first owner of a Big Data Bowl team is having a mutiny 5 weeks in. Well, okay. action items for next week. Who knows what the fuck they're gonna be? This is insane. This is truly insane. You guys are out of your minds. This show, if that's what you want to call it, has turned into quite the problem. My team is apparently on strike. I don't know what the resolution of that's going to be. They don't know this, but we've narrowed it down to 2 intern candidates. Okay, well...
When I say Indian, you say power Indian. Power Indian.